Hello and welcome to another FjordFish video. This time I'm here in the beautiful harbour area of Tananger in Sola municipality. A town that has a lot of oil business going on in and around it.
Ja. Ikke verste størrelse man heller.
And so this guy kinda mocks me a little bit there for catching one of these. I guess he's kind of a fisherman or something, because he was kind of tying up a fishing boat as it came into dock. And, you know, they probably catch a lot larger fish. And most people that live close to the ocean in the southern parts of Norway pretty much get done catching the gold cine wrasse when they're fairly young, I'd say. Because, you know, it's just, I guess, the kind of fish the kids go to catch, and you can see them everywhere around the docks. I mean, sometimes it's even, or often, fishing in docks area, it's kind of hard to avoid them. But it was actually a fairly decent one, though. And, well, this video is recorded in June 2018. It is now June 2019, almost, so it's been, like, kind of lying around for a year. I made an original edit of it, but I didn't really like it, and I deleted it, and so I edited it again. It's just, that's a mouthful. Edited it. Jesus. But yeah, so I mean, there's gonna be a lot of small fish caught today. I'm fishing in the inner harbor this day, and the next day, which will also be the next video, I'm heading out to the deeper waters of the outer harbor. But I kind of wanted to, I've been meaning to do this for a while, just kind of fish around this area and see what I can catch. And so this was the day that I did it. And another gold cine. I mean, 68 grams, that's not too bad for one of these. I mean, twice the size of that is probably pretty much the Norwegian record. Like, they don't get too large. According to Norwegian Wikipedia, they get up to 19 centimeters. I've caught at least a couple that's larger than that, though. And, you know, I really don't put much value to the whole, oh, they can get this large. Because, no, like several fish that I've seen, oh, they can get this large. I've seen or caught larger ones, so it's like, I don't know. I don't fully believe it, you know. But so this is a pretty nice place, and if you ask me, there used to be some stores there, grocery stores, etc. back in the days, and well, now there just isn't. It's all kind of torn down and such, which is, you know, it's a shame really, because this is a beautiful part of Tananger, and in my mind, this should be like Tananger Centrum. You know, the city, or, you know, the town center. But they've just, you know, they just set aside like a land area, like a square, like, boom, here. That's where it's gonna be. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. That's where all the shopping centers are and all of that, and it's just right next to the oil industry, like right next to industry in some, you know, it just doesn't. This place would be beautiful if they just made it here instead. And there are places they can do it, but they don't, so I don't know. I hope they reinvigorate this part of Tananger in the future, because this part of Tananger is where you should go as a tourist, because this is pretty beautiful. It looks like a southern Norwegian town on the western, well, southwestern Norwegian coast. Fishing is good. There is a very good spot, like in this municipality. This is close to one of the better fishing places on land, which is out on Melingsholmen, which you can barely see at the top end of my screen here, like top to the right there. And there you can, there's a old German dock from World War II for just like small boats and whatnot. And if you fish there, you can catch a lot of fairly large fish, and there's a lot of sea trouts. I've seen, every time I'm out there fishing, I see them jumping, like fairly sizable ones too, probably like a kilo plus, to be honest. But all in all, I mean, this is a beautiful place, it's a beautiful day, and some beautiful fish. Although, I must say, when you catch about 20 of these in a day, you kinda, you know, that's enough, you know. So I won't only be catching black gobies and gold cines this episode. I think I catch one other fish, maybe two species, but yeah, there's a lot of black gobies and gold cine in here. However, I've been fishing from where I'm standing right now before, and I've been just kind of casting out into the bay with like just some lead weight and shrimp, and that has resulted in flounder. And yeah, good thing this bar here is bent to the side, otherwise I would not reach that fish. But yeah, so like I caught a flounder in here, and my sister, I kind of donated it to her. Donated is maybe not the word, but and she ate it, and she became ill. So I wouldn't eat fish that is caught in here. But there you go, like there's a rock hook grass. I haven't caught too many of these. They're kind of, you know, these are the kind of fish that eat like parasites of other fish and whatnot. They have really tiny mouths, so you need very tiny hooks to be able to catch these. But they're beautiful. I actually have the Norwegian record on this fish on a fly rod. So, you know, just a little bit of bragging there, I guess. And, you know, I mean, when I look, I love this. When I stand in just docks and I see this kind of environment, it's just so interesting for me. Like, to imagine being a fish swimming around in that. You know, for me, it looks so outlandish. I just imagine being down there in that, almost to say, like the mess of just algae and whatever the heck not. And just, it must be so, if I could shrink myself to the size of one of these black gobies and jump down there and just swim around and look, it would be amazing. It'd be like taking LSD or something, you know. I mean, it's a whole other world underwater. So basically, I decided I was just going to start in one end, and I was going to walk my way to the hotel that is over in the other end of the bay here, or in the harbor area. And just fish along and see what I can catch. Which, as you can see so far, is mostly gold cines and black gobies. I have a interesting, well, not exactly interesting, but I have a, for me, a funny story at least. When I started off the fishing trip, there used to be floating docks sticking out there from the concrete dock, and I went there fishing with my grandfather once, my father's father, and he brought along like a old rod, like probably World War II age rod, right? And he doesn't fish, right? So it's just kind of been lying in his garage forever. And we went out here fishing, and I caught all the way in there where I caught the first couple of fish. I caught a cod, and it was the hardest fight I've had. Just like it was, I struggled so hard. Not so much because of the fish, but because of the rods. I was like, oh man, this fish got to be gigantic. I mean, it's so hard to pull it in. And it comes up and it's like 150 grams. So I was like, oh, wow, okay. There's like 20 years back in time when Tananger looked different in this area. But it's beautiful now, don't get me wrong. So I kind of decided, it's a lot of this is private areas. I'm being a little bit cocky, I guess, just kind of walking in here, and it's privately owned property, a lot of it at least. But people don't seem to mind. I guess maybe they do, but they don't want to say it. Anyway, I jumped down here, and this is private property. As I was fishing here, the guy that owned the property came out to say hello and hey, what's going on. But he didn't have a problem with me fishing there. I was just like, well, are you gonna catch any fish here though? Like it's not deep. It's not even a meter deep in here. But I'm micro fishing, just seeing what I can see. Just wanted to fish along the whole coastline of the inner harbor here. And he was mostly worried about me messing with the birds. Like there was a goose, which is actually quite uncommon to see. I haven't seen those in years. I've seen some goose or geese, but not this kind, which is I guess the regular kind. And a swan. I guess they feed them from the deck here, and that's nice. He seemed like a nice guy, So, I mean, 31 grams, that's not too bad for black goby, to be honest. Like, not in this area where there's a lot of tinier ones. As you can see here, 11 grams. It's kind of nice when you catch a lot of tiny ones and then you get like a 30 gram plus. It's quite nice for me. My personal best on a black goby is 50 grams, and they don't get much bigger than that. I think maybe the Norwegian record is 80 grams or something, but I could definitely be wrong there. I know that the fly fishing record on Norwegian or in Norway on black goby is 40 grams. Because I tried to beat it and come close a couple of times, but not quite. Well, maybe this summer though, I'm gonna set off a day or two to try beat it once I find a good black goby spot. And I'm kinda looking for that when I'm out fishing these days. So I'm not talking much relative to or relevant to what's going on here. I apologize for that. Like, it's been lying around for a year. Usually when I'm out fishing and filming, I get like, I start this like script in my head, like, okay, I want to mention this, I want to say that, I want this, that, da. Well, this is a year ago, so I don't remember any of that. So it's just me talking basically over this. Now, maybe if you feel like it, leave a comment on whether or not, like, I don't know. Is music better? Is my voice better? I mentioned this in another video, but like, for me, doing this voice thing is a lot quicker than writing. I get a lot more conveyed in a shorter span of time. But I had a lunch, sat down for some food on a bench, and the swan came by, so I decided, hey, why not feed him some of my lunch? My lunch was basically, I just went into the store and just bought some like round breads. I don't know what it's called in English. Boller. No, I mean rundstykker in Norwegian. Directly translated, that would be round pieces. Pretty sure that's not it in English. But yeah, as I was feeding this swan, the goose came by. So I decided to feed that too. I guess they're just kind of hanging out around here and, pretty used to being fed by humans. Because it's kind of like an attraction to people, or for people to go here. Like my mother, for instance, she is a big fan of swans. And swans aren't really native to Norway. I think they're like an Asian bird that got imported in the 18 or 16, 1700s or something. But, it kind of followed me around, so it probably is a bad idea to feed him this fish, right, because it's got spikes and whatnot. So I didn't really think that through, but I decided to try and see what happened. But he just released it and got pissed, so I guess it all worked out for the better though, to be honest. Trying to tell me don't do that, put that back in the ocean, you bastard. And, someone had like a little party. Some daddy cool tunes. It was a nice day to be out fishing. It was warm, it was hot, it was, sun was out. There was also a tiny breeze. It was just a lovely day of fishing. And gold cinny and black gobies AF. Don't quite know what to say to that. Just a lot of them, really. Not much else. But you can check out the next video where I'm fishing the outer harbour. I'll be catching a lot more species in that, and a lot larger fish as well. So, thanks for watching, and I shall leave you with a swan washing itself. Peace out.